Welcome back, dweebs, to another episode of the Weekly Dweeb. With me, as always, is Carnage Media's finest, Kev. Kev, it's been a disappointing week of news, and boy, do we got a good one. In the realm of nobody asked for this and nobody wants it, I'm going to rate this real fucking high on the list. There is a new Lord of the Rings movie in development at Warner Brothers. Yes, let me tell you, The Return of the King came out quite a long time ago, folks. Let me remind you that there is no book after Return of the King. Yes, you're as confused as me. Okay, here we go. Now let me tell you who wrote it, Kev. The one, the only famed movie writer, etc., etc. Can't think of any other words at the moment to even use, and he doesn't deserve any of them. Stephen Colbert is co-writing this movie titled The Lord of the Rings, The Shadow of the Past. The synopsis. This is crazy. Okay. The synopsis. 14 years after the passing of Frodo, after he passes into the West, Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace the steps of their first steps of their adventure. Meanwhile, Sam's daughter, Eleanor, has discovered a long-buried secret and is determined to uncover why the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it even began. Colbert is writing it with his son, Peter McGee, and franchise veteran Philippa Boyens.
Oh, good. So there's nepotism involved, too. You love that. This is hitting all of, if I had my Hollywood bingo card out, I think I'd be one free space away from getting it.
Right. What the fuck is my only response right now?
What a great plot, James. So
what in the hell is this?
So Samwise, Merry, and Pippin, 14 years after their friend died, but random time, have decided that they, for their own nostalgia, I guess, need to retread the steps of what I imagine has to be just the most traumatizing period in all of their lives. Like, neither of those three had a good time. May I remind all of you, all right? None of these guys is Aragorn. They weren't doing badass stuff. Like, they were getting captured by orcs. Maybe Merry and Pippin are like, I remember when we rode on those Ents. That was pretty cool. Why the hell so the plot of this nostalgia bait movie is that the main characters have nostalgia, and then even the secondary plot. Oh, go ahead. Before
I don't know. To clarify, in the books, anybody that carries the ring or is an elven, etc., passes into the West. So Frodo's not dead; he passes into the West, which he's gone from the world, essentially, to put it without going too weird into detail on it. Who wanted this? Nobody this is we've talked a lot about corporate greed and stupidity on this channel recently, and this is right up there. Nobody wants this. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is beloved. Return of the King, it was a commercial success and a critical success, right? Like, it won a shitload of Oscars. It's one of the few movies of all time where both sides it crushed it at the box office and at the award shows. I do not know what the fuck this is or who wants this outside of Warner Brothers is trying to cash in on the franchise because they need the money, right? They're already making the hunt.
Warner Brothers does.
Yeah, they're already making the hunt for Gollum, which is a thing that happened in the books, but is set. It's like at the early onset of one, it's glossed over. They talk about it a little. They don't really do much with it. Like, it does happen. So it's like, all right, like, okay, like, not really. Like, I know what you're doing here. This is just a complete farce. Like, this is a joke. Tolkien never wrote a sequel to The Lord of the Return of the King. Just to everybody's surprise, nobody knew that, right? Like, these books haven't been out since the 60s. He did toy with the idea of creating one, right? And he would write a lot of letters, right? Tolkien wrote a lot of letters that were posted after he passed away. Here's one of a snippet of one of them. I have nothing beyond the first few years of the Fourth Age, which would be the next age. After that, except the beginning of a tale supposed to refer to the end of the reign of Eldarion about 100 years after the death of Aragorn. Then I, of course, discovered that the King's Peace would contain no tales worth recounting, and his wars would have little interest after the overthrow of Sauron, but that almost certainly a restlessness would appear about them, owing that to, it seems, inevitable boredom of the men with the good. There would be secret societies practicing dark cults, orc cults among adolescents. In another letter, he admits he came to view this story as sinister and depressing.
Yeah. Yeah, it's almost like doing a Star Wars sequel after the good guys have won, and then all you do is show that the good guys are also incompetent at administration. And then it's like, oh, whoops, we've got the First Order again. Oh, whoops, that sounds like a lot of fun. Well, first of all, if you wanted to tap into the expanded Tolkien universe, there's only a full-on encyclopedia that the guy wrote about everything that happened before Hobbit and the Lord of the Rings. So if there were ever a series that was crying for people to do more prequel material as opposed to sequel material, it's probably this one. But if you are going to do that, if you are going to cause J.R.R. Tolkien to roll in his grave, can you not at least come up with a halfway decent fucking plot? So we've got 3 hobbits just basically wanting to act like your old varsity teammates when you head back to your 15 or 20 year reunion, and they're like, oh, brother, remember when we did this out by the pier? Like,
and that was the highlight of their life, right? Like, that's it.
Right. Yeah. Let's do a movie about that.
They're still wearing their state championship rings 25 years later.
Dude.
Like, it's exactly what it is.
And then what's the daughter's plot? She discovers something that almost lost them the war before it started. But guess what, gang? That didn't happen. So who cares? So what's the investigation? Oh, she found a thing. It could have, is that supposed to be some big hook to reel me in?
So Warner Brothers has very weird rules on what they can and can't use. Like, there's very specific books and stuff. IGN wrote a really good article titled "J.R.R. Tolkien Didn't Want a Lord of the Rings Sequel, Should We?" In it, they talk about some of the stuff. That's where I pulled some of the stuff from. But then they're like, okay, what is this actually about? Let's try to figure that out. Let's go a different route. They think, and I'm going to tell this to you, and then you tell me if it still makes no sense, because I still think it makes no sense, that this movie is going to be a big flashback movie, in that the reference that Sam's daughter has discovered a long buried secret, and then Sam, Merry, and Pippin set out to retrace their first steps of the adventures, is a reference to something that didn't make the movies. In the books, very early in the first book, they run into Tom Bombadil. Frodo almost dies.
Yeah,
that whole story happens. They think they're literally gonna, Eleanor finds out about that, and then they tries to find out about that. In that the reference to the War of the Ring was very nearly lost before it even began, is because Frodo almost died. They think they're gonna go back and shoot the Tom Bombadil.
They're gonna do
part of that book, and insert that in. That's the movie. They think that's what it is. Because they give some of the reasons, they have to stick to the specific books and stuff. I don't know which ones it is, but they have the main 3 for sure and The Hobbit. They think it's literally going to be a full-on flashback movie, and they're going to film all the Tom Bombadil. They're going to make that section of the book its own movie.
As tempting as that is, James,
that's chapters 3 through 8 of the Fellowship of the Ring.
I do love some Tom Bombadil. I take it all back, guys. This is a great idea. I think you should definitely do it so I can get 90 minutes of Tom Bombadil. I would love to see that come to life on screen. I think it would be a comedy of errors, but I could personally find some joy out of that. But I mean,
if it wasn't filmed for the movie, why are we? You're essentially retconning the movie, adding a whole section that didn't happen, that was hidden from us, right? That's how they're going to frame it, right? Something like that. If he wasn't in the movie, why is because realistically, Tom Bombadil makes no sense like for the movies that Peter Jackson made. Like he had to cut some stuff, and the Tom Bombadil stuff is like, here's this character that pops in, he's there for just a few chapters, and then he leaves, and he never comes back.
Yes,
like it just doesn't make sense for the movies when you had to start cutting, trimming stuff.
Like, is that even a complete story? I'm trying to think of.
I mean, they go into the Barrow Downs. They get lost in the forest. They get captured. The tree capture. One of the trees captures Frodo, almost kills him. Tom saves him last second, and then they go.
On the ring. He's not impacted by the ring. I remember that.
They go, stay with him for a while, and then they leave.
I think he gives them their daggers too. I'm pretty sure.
No,
so is that the big? Is that going to be the big, like the big climax?
Later.
Is like he's like, here are your swords.
I don't know. Like the climax is, I guess, is where they almost die, right? But then they stay with him for like a week after that. But then it goes on because like Tom, like his thing is like he has no interest in what's going on in the world. He doesn't like. He's older than time. Like he doesn't care.
And he just sings a weird song.
He sings a weird song as a hot wife, and that's all he does.
I want to see this, and then like have it cast as like Will Ferrell or Danny McBride, like just a complete loon.
Stop giving them ideas,
dude. We're talking about the same company that retrofit every IP that it owns into another movie no one asked for, which is the damn Space Jam sequel. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I never did. I didn't care to see it.
There is an ancient video on this very channel about that Space Jam sequel, and essentially the big game is played against Al G Rhythm and his goon squad, and you've got I see that face you made, and you were right to make it. And you've got like Pennywise in the crowd, you've got agents from the Matrix in the crowd. Anything Warner Brothers has ever done is there and present, watching the Space Jam game.
Jesus Christ.
And so this is exactly what Warner Brothers would do with something that they own, is just completely bastardize it and gut it, strip it down, sell it for parts. I don't see how there is a fulfilling story here. This is gonna be like Anchorman 2, dude. Like what? Like that movie made me sad to watch it. Like, oh man, none of these guys can get work. They got to come back and beat this dead horse from 20 years ago. And if anything, put a bad taste in your mouth off of something you might have enjoyed. That's all I'm getting from this, is like, oh great. Thanks for giving me a reason to not want to watch The Lord of the Rings again.
Yeah, like I have no desire.
This makes me want to avoid the Pete Jackson ones, just because I might fall victim to this nostalgia bait.
Well, I don't know. He butchered the Hobbit books. Like those movies are terrible.
And I like some of the stuff that Stephen Colbert has done. I think for whether it was the Daily Show or on his own as a late night host, I feel like he's in the sweet spot. Like that's his wheelhouse. I don't know. I don't know if doing a non-comedy Lord of the Rings movie is gonna really play out well for him.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a fruitful decision, but hey, you gotta get your children work in the industry somehow. So of course, me and my son will write it.
Yep.
Famous last words.
Yeah. Nice job. Good luck.
Well, thank you, Warner Brothers. Your legacy is intact.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. We are officially out. dDweeb is out on this movie, as are 65% of the voters on IGN's poll. They say they'd rather it didn't exist at all. 6,700 votes. So let us know what you guys think in the thoughts. I assume a lot of it's going to be about the same. So we appreciate you guys joining us today. This has been the Weekly dDweeb. Please like, subscribe, and share. Help us get 200. Hit that notification button so you can check out the rest of our stuff that is coming. We'll have movies reviews coming back soon after my schedule even gets back normal. because also the Bone Temple is coming to streaming very soon. So thank you guys for joining us. This has been the Weekly Dweeb. Until next time.